Good morning everyone. I am Mrs. Priyanka Gupta and I am going to teach subject biology of class 9 chapter 1, that is the fundamental unit of life. In the fundamental unit of life, this is the second part. In the first part we have discussed about the cell theory. As we all know, all living organisms are made up of cells. All plants and animals, human beings, everything, all living organisms. In everything we'll talk about the all living organisms. In all living organisms, all all living organisms are made up of cells. Cells are the basic structural and functional unit of life. There are so many scientists who have given their views on cells, and the two biologists that named Seelden and Son, they have also given their views, and first time they have seen the cells with the help of the electron microscope. Okay, now the second point is Now the second point in cell is plasma membrane or cell membrane. If we'll talk about cell membrane or plasma membrane, it is the additional membrane of the cell. And plasma membrane, see, it is written here, this is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the content of the cell from its external environment. The plasma membrane allows or permits the entry and exit of some materials in and out of the cell. So now, plasma membrane, as we all know that cells are found in the living organisms. So for the proper functioning of cell in our body, cells needs oxygen, and they pass out the waste material, that is carbon dioxide. So how it is possible that oxygen and carbon dioxide cells can exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? By the process. It is possible by the process. There are two processes given. First is the diffusion, second is the osmosis. So first of all we have to know कि diffusion, what is diffusion? Diffusion क्या होता है? So now diffusion is the process through which the solution moves from the region of higher concentration towards the region of lower concentration. This is the first process, and second process is the osmosis. Osmosis is also very much similar to the diffusion. As we all know that in osmosis, solution also moves from the region of higher concentration towards the region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. This is the difference, that in diffusion, solution only moves from the region of higher concentration towards the region of lower concentration, and in osmosis, solution moves from the region of higher concentration towards the region of lower concentration through semi-permeable membrane. This is the difference. Now, for example, suppose if we'll take how oxygen goes inside the cell and carbon dioxide moves out of the cell, that is just because of these two processes, diffusion or through osmosis. How? Because as we all know that solution moves from the concentration of higher to lower concentration. So suppose in cell, when the concentration of oxygen is lower, then in the external environment, the oxygen that is present, that is having the higher concentration. तो higher concentration जो ऑक्सीजन का है वो क्या हो जाएगा, जब सेल के अंदर का जो कंटेंट है ऑक्सीजन का वो जब लोअर कंसंट्रेशन में आ जाता है, तो जो हायर कंसंट्रेशन बाहर वाले एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट में है ऑक्सीजन का, वो क्या होता है, सेल के अंदर मूव हो जाता है बाय द प्रोसेस डिफ्यूज. तो दिस इज द होल प्रोसेस. नाउ द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज, before moving towards the next topic, first of all we will take one example of plasma membrane. Suppose if we'll take raisins, you all must be knowing raisins. What are raisins? Raisins हम लोग किशमिश को कहते हैं. तो suppose if we'll take raisins and if we soak it in water in night and leave it for the whole night, and then in the next morning if we'll see the raisins, the raisins will be swollen up. You will see that the raisins will be swollen up. Why? That is just because of the process diffusion. That is just because of the process diffusion and just because of the concentration of solution. Higher concentration of solution moves inside the lower through the lower concentration. Okay, hope you all have understood till here. Now the next topic is the cell wall. Now if we'll talk about the cell wall, Um, Cell wall is the additional membrane that is present outside the plasma membrane. Cell wall is another membrane that is present outside the plasma membrane, and uh, cell wall is generally present. Cell wall is generally present in the plant cells, and it is generally made up of cellulose and complex material called cellulose, and cellulose provides the structural strength and flexibility to the plant so that the plant can be stand straight. Now the next topic is the nucleus. Now the next topic, nucleus. If we'll talk about the nucleus is found inside the cell, and nucleus is covered with the help of the nuclear membrane. There is a layer covering the nucleus that is called the nuclear membrane. Now see here, it is written like the nucleus has a double layered covering called nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane has pores which allows in transfers of material from inside the nucleus to its outside, that is in the cytoplasm. Now the nucleus contains chromosomes. We will talk about nucleus contains chromosomes, and the structure of the chromosomes is like rod shape structure. In nucleus contains chromosomes, and chromosomes are of the rod shape like structures. And chromosomes just tells ki chromosomes gives the information of the pair from the parent towards the inheritance from one generation to the next generation. From chromosomes, जो क्रोमोसोम्स होता है न्यूक्लियस के इनसाइड में, जो क्रोमोसोम्स होता है उससे हम लोग को क्रोमोसोम से हम लोग को इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती है कि फ्रॉम वन जनरेशन टू द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन की, और उसमें जो होता है वो डीएनए मटेरियल होता है. डीएनए इज द डीऑक्सी राइबो न्यूक्लिक एसिड. एंड जो भी फंक्शनिंग या स्ट्रक्चरल बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर जो होगा नेक्स्ट ऑर्गेनिज्म का, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन के ऑर्गेनिज्म का, वो हम लोग को क्रोमोसोम से ही पता चलता है. नाउ if we'll further talk about nucleus, see here it is written, the nucleus plays a central role. Now the nucleus plays a central role in cellular reproduction, the process by which a single cell divides and forms two new cells. It also plays a crucial part along with the environment in determining the way the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at maturity by directing the chemical activities of the cell. Now it will talk about organisms. Those organisms whose cells lack their nuclear membrane are the prokaryotic organisms, and the organisms whose cells not lack their nuclear membrane are called the eukaryotic organisms. Thank you and have a nice day.